Yo, retirees. So this is another little project that I'm doing. A little project. Um, Something you could do. Got permission, of course, from the county park. This is an area. This is Mugwort, terrible invasive species. And recently somebody gave me these plants. This is in the sunflower family. Oh, this is Helianthus strumosus, I believe. They're called pale leaf woodland sunflower. And it's good for pollinators, gets nice yellow flowers, very pretty. The problem with it is it's very aggressive, so it really takes over an area. So that's actually perfect for what I'm going to be doing here, because this is all mugwort. Hopefully it chokes the mugwort out as it grows. I've done that other area right up there, a little bit of it here, of Rudbeckia laciniata, cutleaf Rudbeckia, and it does choke out the mugwort. I just have to control it a little bit, but the mugwort does not grow in between it, and it spreads. So now I have about, I don't know, maybe a 20-foot section of it that's choked out all the mugworts there, and hopefully in the years to come it'll quadruple in size, and it gets beautiful yellow flowers like this sunflower does. So basically what I do, I come in here, dig out what I can. See all this mugwort that's coming right out. This all stems from it. And, I'll plant these guys and see what happens. Let them spread. But originally I was going to put it in my pollinator garden. But then when I read up on it, because, everything you do, you need to investigate. I found that it's probably too aggressive for my other garden, and it would be choking out plants that I want. So we'll put it here and see what happens, and I'll do another video as it grows and show you what you can do. This is going to take me 15 minutes, 20 minutes. It's raining a little bit, which is actually perfect for planting. So I'll get this done quick. Okay, I'll get back to you. Right. Okay, we're done. This is what I took out. This is the rhizomes of mugwort. Is a horrible invasive species from Asia. I mean, it's not invasive in Asia. There's animals that have co-evolved with it over there, Europe and Asia, and they keep it under control. But there's nothing here that keeps it under control, because our animals and other plants have not co-evolved with it. So it just has free reign. Nothing eats it, hardly. So anyway, I got these Helianthus strumosus, pale woodland sunflower, I believe they call it. So I did a little 6-foot area of it, and hopefully it's going to spread. From what I read online, I went online, looked it up. It tells me it's a terrible, aggressive plant, and it'll choke everything else out. So hopefully it's going to choke out this mugwort. I'll have to do a little maintenance. I'll come in and weed whack what comes up right away, and give it a chance to grow. And I left a few things in here. Here's some Canada goldenrod, also is aggressive plant. So maybe between the two of them, they can push the mugwort back. And the reason we want this is because our native animals do recognize it. So the moths lay eggs, they have caterpillars, or songbirds come, take the caterpillars and feed their babies. That doesn't happen on the mugwort and other invasive species, which are all over. I don't know if you can see behind me, there's all this amur honeysuckle, absolutely beautiful, blooming. But it's like, might as well be a plastic plant here as far as the animals are concerned, So we want to get native plants in the ground. And, I did some physical work. And I'll go home and I'll have lunch, and the cat will sit on my lap in my easy chair, and I'll probably fall asleep for half an hour. And that's what retirement is all about. It's all good, retirement is wonderful. But we can't just sit there all day long, we'll be miserable. So you got to get out, get some exercise, go online, look up Helianthus strumosus, find out about this plant. If I didn't do that, I would have planted this in my pollinator garden. And from what I read, it's very aggressive, and would have created a problem. So that's why it's good to use your brain. You know, I worked my brain. I learned something new. I didn't even know this plant before last night. Somebody gave me these plants, you know, and I said, oh, okay, I'll take them. And then I found out that, you know, you need the right place for them, but it's a good native plant. You know, here I have it there, the video. I don't know if I'll include the two. The Rudbeckia Laciniata, I believe it is called. It's a cut leaf Rudbeckia, and you can see it here. This was just a little 4-inch plant a couple of years ago. It's spreading a little slower than I wanted. It's okay. And there's no mugwort growing in between it. In fact, there's no mugwort growing right around it. You know, it chokes out the invasive plants. And it's another native plant. Makes beautiful yellow daisy flowers like this Helianthus will. Helianthus is sunflower. It's in the sunflower family. In the fall, the birds will eat the seeds, and the little mice in the voles will also eat the seeds. And, you know, it's all good. It's all good. We need to have more native plants to save our native animals, you know, help save the planet. So hopefully, you know, you'll find a little project like this and, you know, do something good for nature, do something good for yourself. Have a good retirement. And, you know, hit like, subscribe, and then, you know, the next time I do a video, it'll pop up, and hopefully you like these videos. Leave me a comment. Tell me what you're doing, make suggestions. You know, I know these are not professional videos. I am not a professional person, and I'm not all that technologically inclined. So I just do the best I can. But hopefully I'm getting my message out to you that you need to do this kind of stuff for the planet and for yourself. Okay. You take care. Have a good retirement. So here we are again in that little area that I cleaned out for the Helianthus strumosus. And I was told that this is a pretty deer-resistant perennial, but apparently nobody told the deer, and they didn't leave too much. This is only, they were only in the ground a day, and this happened. If you notice, they didn't touch the Rudbeckia Laciniata, the cutleaf coneflower. And they have already trimmed it a little bit, but they generally don't bother it. And these plants are right next to them, but they sure did like them. So I'm going to put a little deer repellent down, and that'll keep them safe for a while, maybe long enough to get some growth on them, and we'll see what happens. But I'm not too optimistic. So live and learn. So this appears to be the sole survivor of the Helianthus strumosus. The deer mowed it all down. I put deer repellent, it grew back. The deer mowed it back again. Then I didn't see any. I thought it was gone. And here is one little piece left. Now this is supposed to be a very aggressive plant, so perhaps this one will be able to spread. I'm going to clean up. There's a little mugwort and there's some Canada goldenrod around it. I'm going to take them out, and we'll see how it does. I'm pretty sure it'll survive the winter. I don't know why all of a sudden the deer stopped eating it. I mean, it's supposed to be deer resistant. And it did flower. You can see the seed heads on it there, I hope. So I'm going to take those seeds, by the way, and winter sow them in containers. Grow a little more. Be nice if this would grow and the deer wouldn't eat it. So we'll see what happens.